In this video, we'll be discussing our method of construction and our test results from our spaghetti bridge for Structures 1. This bridge was constructed using a conventional truss method. It has a single overhead beam that consists of 300mm lengths and two 400mm beams on the bottom that make up the driving track. It has 100mm end trusses with internal 50mm trusses and diagonal 70mm trusses. The overall height is 80mm, the overall width is 70mm, and the total weight is 119 grams. So as you just saw, the bridge failed after 9 kilos of weight. The biggest defect in the bridge design was the central beams running along the bottom. The one closest to us failed first. One way to rectify this would have been to add a few more strands of spaghetti along that member to just reinforce it. During the construction of this bridge, we struggled to apply the glue and the spaghetti in a way that would create a smooth contact to be able to transfer the load from spaghetti to truss. This would enable more weight to transfer through the beams and the truss members, enabling the bridge to carry more weight. Another issue we faced was due to the fact that we've got a single overhead beam, our trusses lose space as it gets higher up the bridge. So we struggled to get the base plate in from the scale. To get around this for the first test, we had to break a couple of truss members. In our first test, the bridge was able to hold 9.5 kilos, which is over 80 times its body weight. Moving on to our next test, some things we tried to rectify for this was to increase the width so that we could fit the scale plate, and was to strengthen the bottom beams, which is where we had our initial failure on the first test. So in this image you can see the bottom beams which failed in the first test flexing under all the pressure of the weight. This is a result of extra reinforcement at the bottom and the center point where the scale is attached to the bridge. Our second test managed to come in at the same weight as our first test. However, it failed on the right hand side pivot point on the bottom beam. If we were to do this test again, we'd be reinforcing the bottom beams on either end of the pivot points and the center pivot point, which is holding the scale, as these are taking all of the weight. Thank you for watching this presentation.